The vast emptiness of space stretched out before the small Earth ship. Its hull, a patchwork of metals and polymers, looked like a child's toy compared to the sleek vessels of the galactic empires. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the bridge, her eyes fixed on the distant stars. She knew what the aliens thought of them. Humans were the new kids on the block, barely out of their planetary cradle. "Captain, we're receiving another transmission," Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his voice tinged with annoyance. "It's the Zarkonian Empire again." Sarah sighed. "Put it through." The main screen flickered to life, revealing the smug face of Ambassador Krelix. His purple skin glistened under the lights of his opulent ship, and his four eyes blinked in an unsettling pattern. "Ah, the human vessel," Krelix said, his translator struggling to convey the mockery in his tone. "Still puttering about in that tin can. How quaint." Sarah forced a smile. "Ambassador Krelix, always a pleasure. What can we do for you today?" The alien's laughter echoed through the bridge. "Do for us? Oh, you simple creatures. We merely wanted to ensure you hadn't gotten lost in the vastness of space. It would be a shame if Earth's proudest achievement ended up as space debris." The bridge crew tensed, but Sarah kept her cool. "Your concern is noted, Ambassador. We're quite capable of navigating our sector." "Your sector?" Krelix's eyes widened in faint surprise. "My dear Captain, don't you know? The Galactic Council has just rezoned this entire quadrant. It now falls under Zarkonian protection." Sarah's heart sank, but she didn't let it show. "I see. And when was Earth informed of this decision?" "Oh, I'm sure the notice is making its way through the proper channels." Krelix waved a dismissive hand. "Now, why don't you turn that little ship around and scurry back to your home world? We wouldn't want any accidents." The transmission cut off, leaving the bridge in tense silence. "Orders, Captain?" Rodriguez asked, his hand hovering over the navigation controls. Sarah took a deep breath. "We continue our mission. They may have rezoned the map, but we have every right to be here." As the Earth ship pressed on, news of the encounter spread quickly through the galactic networks. In gleaming cities on distant worlds, aliens gathered to watch and laugh at the humans' pathetic attempts at space exploration. On the desert planet of Xar Prime, tentacled creatures huddled around view screens, their appendages writhing with amusement. "Look at their primitive propulsion systems," one exclaimed. "They'll be lucky to reach the next star system before their sun burns out." In the crystalline towers of Lumina, beams of pure energy pulsed with condescending pity. "Should we tell them about the temporal eddies in that sector?" one asked. "No, no," another replied. "Let them learn the hard way. It's the only way they'll grow." Even the usually stoic hive mind of Beta Centauri buzzed with derision. "Their neural networks are so limited," the collective consciousness mused. "How can they hope to comprehend the complexities of galactic politics?" Back on Earth, in a hidden facility deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, a different scene was unfolding. Dr. Aisha Khan stood before a holographic display, her dark eyes intense as she studied the complex equations floating in the air. "Dr. Khan," a voice called out. She turned to see General Thompson entering the lab, his uniform crisp despite the late hour. "I've just received word from the Galactic Council. The Zarkonians are pushing for more restrictions on our space program." Aisha's jaw tightened. "Let them push. They have no idea what's coming." The general nodded, a glimmer of hope in his eyes. "How close are we?" Aisha waved her hand, and the holographic display shifted to show a sleek, otherworldly ship design. It was unlike anything humans had ever built, its curves and angles defying conventional physics. "Project X7 is nearly complete," she said, her voice filled with quiet determination. "The seventh dimension drive is stable in simulations. We're ready for a live test." General Thompson's eyes widened. "And you're certain this will work? That it will give us the edge we need?" Aisha allowed herself a small smile. "General, when this ship unleashes its true power, the galactic empires won't be laughing anymore. They'll be too busy trying to pick their jaws up off the floor." As they stood there, gazing at the holographic ship that held the hopes of humanity, neither of them could have predicted just how right Dr. Khan would be. The galaxy was about to learn that underestimating humans was the last mistake they'd ever make. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility unknown to most of humanity, Project X7 was coming to life. Dr. Aisha Khan stood before a massive hangar door, her heart racing with anticipation. Behind her, a team of the world's brightest scientists and engineers waited nervously. "Are you ready for this?" General Thompson asked, his voice low. Aisha nodded, her eyes gleaming with determination. "We've been ready for years. It's time the galaxy saw what humans are truly capable of." The hangar doors slowly opened, revealing a ship unlike anything Earth had ever produced. It was sleek and angular, its hull shimmering with an otherworldly iridescence. But its true power lay hidden within, a revolutionary engine capable of manipulating the seventh dimension. As the team entered the hangar, Aisha couldn't help but remember the long, difficult road that had led to this moment. 5 years earlier, she had been a promising young physicist, laughed out of academic circles for her absurd theories on higher dimensional travel. "Stick to something practical," they had told her. "Leave the real space exploration to the aliens." But Aisha knew she was onto something. Her calculations suggested that the universe had more than the commonly accepted 11 dimensions. There was a 12th, hidden from view, that could revolutionize space travel. It was during her lowest point, when she was ready to give up, that she received a mysterious invitation. A secret government agency had been watching her work. They believed in her theories and wanted to give her the resources to prove them right. That's how Project X7 was born. Now, standing before the fruit of their labor, Aisha felt a mix of pride and nervousness. The ship, which they had nicknamed Prometheus, represented humanity's greatest achievement and its last hope for respect in the galaxy. "Dr. Khan," one of her colleagues called out, "we're ready to begin the power-up sequence." Aisha took a deep breath and nodded. "Let's do this." The team moved to their stations, fingers flying over holographic controls. The ship hummed to life, a soft blue glow emanating from its core. Suddenly, alarms blared. Red lights flashed throughout the hangar. "What's happening?" General Thompson demanded. One of the engineers, his face pale, looked up from his screen. "Sir, we're detecting a massive energy spike. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." Aisha rushed to the main console, her eyes widening as she saw the readings. The seventh dimension drive wasn't just active. It was tearing open the fabric of space-time right there in the hangar. "Shut it down," General Thompson shouted. But it was too late. A blinding light enveloped the ship, forcing everyone to shield their eyes. When they looked again, Prometheus was gone. Panic erupted in the facility. Had they just lost years of work and Earth's greatest hope in the blink of an eye? Aisha, however, remained calm. She stared at the empty space where the ship had been, a small smile playing on her lips. "Dr. Khan," General Thompson said, his voice shaking. "What just happened?" "It worked," she whispered, then louder. "It worked, don't you see? The ship didn't explode or disappear. It jumped. Prometheus just made its first seventh-dimensional leap." As if to confirm her words, a communication console nearby crackled to life. A familiar voice, tinged with awe, came through. "This is Captain Michael Chen of the Prometheus. You're not going to believe where we are, or what we're seeing. The seventh dimension drive. It's beyond anything we imagined." The room erupted in cheers and tears of joy. They had done it. Humanity had taken its first step into a realm of space travel that even the most advanced alien races hadn't cracked. Aisha felt a hand on her shoulder. She turned to see General Thompson, his eyes glistening with unused tears. "You did it, Dr. Khan," he said softly. "You've given humanity a fighting chance." As the celebration continued around her, Aisha's mind was already racing ahead. This was just the beginning. Soon, the galaxy would see the true power of human ingenuity and determination. The laughter of alien empires would soon turn to gasps of disbelief. Humanity was about to change the rules of the game, and nothing in the universe would ever be the same. Captain Michael Chen stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, his eyes wide with wonder. Through the view screen, he and his crew saw something no human had ever witnessed before: the swirling, multicolored chaos of seventh-dimensional space. "It's beautiful," Lieutenant Sarah Rodriguez whispered, her voice filled with awe. Michael nodded, unable to find words. The ship had jumped instantly from the secret facility on Earth to, well, they weren't quite sure where they were, or when, for that matter. "Status report," Michael finally managed, tearing his eyes away from the mesmerizing view. "All systems functioning normally, Captain," reported Chief Engineer Rajpatal. "The seventh dimension drive is stable and ready for another jump whenever we are." Michael took a deep breath. "All right, let's see what this ship can really do." "Plot a course for the Zarkonian Empire's home system." A hush fell over the bridge. The Zarkonians, who had been among the most vocal in mocking humanity's space efforts, were about to get a surprise visit. "Course plotted, sir," Sarah announced. "Estimated travel time using conventional FTL drives: 3 weeks. With the seventh dimension drive, mere seconds." Michael allowed himself a small smile. Engage. The multicolored chaos outside the ship swirled and pulsed. For a moment, the crew felt a strange sensation, as if they were being stretched and compressed simultaneously. Then, with a flash, they were back in normal space. "We've arrived," Sarah reported, her voice tinged with disbelief. "We're in high orbit around Zarkon Prime." The jump took 2.3 seconds. Before anyone could celebrate, alarms blared across the bridge. "Multiple ships approaching," shouted Tactical Officer Lai Wei. "It's the Zarkonian Defense Fleet. They're powering up weapons." Michael straightened in his chair. This was the moment of truth. "Open a channel." The view screen flickered to life, showing the familiar purple face of a Zarkonian commander. His 4 eyes blinked rapidly in confusion. "This is Commander Vexlor of the Zarkonian Imperial Fleet. Unidentified vessel, you have entered restricted space. Power down and prepare to be boarded, or—" "This is Captain Michael Chen of the Earth ship Prometheus," Michael interrupted, his voice calm but firm. "We're here on a peaceful mission to demonstrate our new propulsion technology." Vexlor's eyes narrowed. "Earth ship? Impossible. Your kind doesn't have the capability to reach our system, let alone appear out of nowhere like that." Michael allowed himself a small smirk. "Things change, Commander. We'd be happy to provide a demonstration." Before Vexlor could respond, Michael nodded to Sarah. The Prometheus vanished, reappearing instantly on the other side of the planet. The Zarkonian ships scrambled, their formations breaking as they tried to locate the Earth vessel. Michael had the Prometheus jump again, this time appearing right in the middle of their fleet. "As you can see, Commander," Michael said as they re-established communication, "humanity has made some advancements." Vexlor's purple face had turned a pale lavender. This is impossible. How are you doing this?" "Let's just say we've learned to think outside the box," Michael replied. "Or rather, outside the dimensions you're familiar with." Suddenly, a new alarm sounded on the bridge. Lai Wei's face paled as he checked his readings. "Captain, we've got a problem," he said urgently. "The seventh dimension drive is overheating. We need to shut it down immediately." Michael's triumphant smile faded. "Raj, what's happening?" The chief engineer's fingers flew over his console. "The drive wasn't meant for these short, rapid jumps. We're putting too much strain on it. If we don't power down now, we risk a catastrophic failure." Michael turned back to the view screen, where Vexlor was watching with a mixture of fear and curiosity. "It seems our demonstration is over for now, Commander. We'll be in touch." With that, Michael ordered the drive to be shut down. The Prometheus shuddered, the lights flickering ominously. "Drive is offline," Raj reported, wiping sweat from his brow. "But we're stuck here, Captain." Conventional engines will take weeks to get us home. As the reality of their situation sank in, the crew of the Prometheus realized their triumphant moment had turned into a potential disaster. They were stranded in the heart of an alien empire, with a revolutionary but unstable technology that could either save them or destroy them. Michael looked around at his crew, seeing the mix of fear and determination in their eyes. "Well," he said, trying to sound more confident than he felt, "it looks like our mission just got a lot more interesting. Let's show the galaxy what humans do best: improvise, adapt, and overcome." As the Zarkonian ships cautiously approached the now vulnerable Earth vessel, Michael couldn't help but wonder, had they just changed the course of galactic history, or had they doomed humanity to an even worse fate? The answer, he realized, would depend on what they did next. The news of the human ship Prometheus and its incredible seventh dimension drive spread through the galaxy like wildfire. In the grand halls of the Galactic Council, representatives from 100 different species argued and debated, their voices rising in a cacophony of alarm and disbelief. Ambassador Krelix of the Zarkonian Empire stood before the council, his purple skin pale with worry. "I assure you," he said, his voice trembling, "the humans have somehow developed technology beyond our comprehension. They appeared in our home system out of nowhere, jumping across vast distances in seconds." The council chamber erupted in chaos. The Luminian representative, a being of pure energy, pulsed with agitation. "Impossible. Humans are barely out of their Stone Age. They can't have surpassed us all so quickly." In a corner of the chamber, the representatives of the Beta Centauri hive mind buzzed in hushed tones. Their collective consciousness, usually so confident, now radiated uncertainty. As the arguments raged on, a small gray-skinned alien with large black eyes stood up. Silence fell as everyone recognized Zinra, the eldest member of the mysterious and ancient Grathi race. For too long, Zinra's soft voice carried across the chamber. "We have underestimated the humans. We laughed at their primitive ships, mocked their limited understanding of the universe. But in our arrogance, we failed to see their true strength." The council listened, rapt with attention, as Zinra continued. "Humans possess a unique ability among all the races we've encountered. They thrive on adversity. The more we push them down, the harder they fight to rise. And now, it seems, they have risen beyond our wildest nightmares." Meanwhile, light years away, the crew of the Prometheus found themselves in an unexpected situation. Instead of being attacked or imprisoned, they were being treated as honored guests by the Zarkonians. Captain Michael Chen sat in a lavish meeting room aboard the Zarkonian flagship, facing Commander Vexlor across a table laden with exotic alien fruits. "I must admit, Captain," Vexlor said, his 4 eyes blinking rapidly, "your arrival has caused quite a stir. Our scientists are baffled by your technology. They're demanding to study your ship." Michael smiled diplomatically. "I'm afraid that won't be possible, Commander. The details of our seventh dimension drive must remain a secret for now." Vexlor leaned forward, his voice dropping to a whisper. "Perhaps we could come to some kind of arrangement. The Zarkonian Empire would be willing to offer Earth considerable benefits in exchange for this technology. Protection, resources, a seat on the Galactic Council." Before Michael could respond, the door burst open. A young Zarkonian officer rushed in, his skin flushed dark purple with excitement or fear. "Commander, Captain, we've just received word from our long-range sensors. A massive fleet is approaching. It's everyone. The Luminians, the Beta Centauri hive, the Grathi. All the major powers are converging on our system." Michael and Vexlor exchanged alarmed looks. The human captain tapped his communicator. "Prometheus, this is Chen. Prepare for immediate evacuation. We may need to make a quick exit." But Chief Engineer Raj's voice came back strained. "Captain, the drive is still offline. We've made some repairs, but it's not stable. If we try to jump now, we might tear the ship apart." Michael's mind raced. They were trapped in the Zarkonian system, with the combined might of the galaxy's superpowers bearing down on them. The seventh dimension drive, their one advantage, was out of commission. Vexlor stood up, his posture stiff with military bearing. Captain Chen, it seems we find ourselves in a common predicament. My people have long viewed yours as primitive, a sentiment I now deeply regret. But perhaps together, we might find a way out of this crisis. Michael considered the alien commander's words. An alliance with the Zarkonians. Just days ago, it would have seemed laughable. But now, faced with the combined threat of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations, they needed all the help they could get. What do you propose, Commander? Michael asked cautiously. Vexlor's 4 eyes gleamed with a mix of fear and determination. Your ship has the technology. My fleet has the firepower. Together, we might just have a chance to change the balance of power in this galaxy forever. As alarms began to blare throughout the Zarkonian ship, signaling the approach of the massive alien armada, Michael realized that the next few hours would determine not just the fate of the Prometheus and its crew, but potentially the future of humanity and its place in the cosmos. The galaxy had laughed at humanity's efforts in space. Now those laughs had turned to panic. Michael saw an opportunity, a chance to prove once and for all that humanity was a force to be reckoned with. All right, Commander, Michael said, extending his hand to the alien. Let's show the galaxy what happens when they back humans into a corner. The combined fleet of the galactic powers loomed large in the viewscreens of both the Prometheus and the Zarkonian ships. Thousands of vessels, each representing the pinnacle of alien technology, hung in space like a swarm of angry hornets. Captain Michael Chen stood on the bridge of the Prometheus, his jaw set with determination. Beside him, Commander Vexlor's 4 eyes darted nervously between the displays. Your move, Captain, Vexlor said, his voice tense. What miracle does humanity have up its sleeve this time? Michael took a deep breath. Raj, he called to his chief engineer. What's the status on the 7th dimension drive? Raj's voice came back, strained but hopeful. We've managed to stabilize it, Captain, but I can't guarantee for how long. We might get 1, maybe 2 jumps before it overloads completely. That'll have to do, Michael said. He turned to Vexlor. Commander, have your fleet form up around us. We're about to show the galaxy why it's a bad idea to corner humans. As the Zarkonian ships moved into position, a transmission came through from the lead ship of the Galactic Alliance. The face that appeared on the screen was that of Zinra, the ancient Grathi. Humans of Earth, Zinra's soft voice carried an edge of steel. You have upset the balance of power in our galaxy. Surrender your ship and its technology immediately, or face annihilation. Michael stepped forward, his eyes blazing with defiance. This is Captain Michael Chen of the Earth ship Prometheus. We came in peace, hoping to join the galactic community as equals. Instead, we found prejudice and mockery. You've left us no choice but to demonstrate why that was a mistake. Before Zinra could respond, Michael nodded to his crew. Activate the 7th dimension drive. Let's show them what we can really do. The Prometheus hummed to life, energy coursing through its hull. The Zarkonian ships clustered close, unsure of what was about to happen. Suddenly, space itself seemed to bend and twist around them. The stars blurred, and for a moment, everyone, human and alien alike, felt as if they were everywhere and nowhere at once. When reality snapped back into focus, the Prometheus and the entire Zarkonian fleet had vanished from their original position. They reappeared behind the Galactic Alliance's armada, catching them completely off guard. Now, Commander, Michael shouted. The Zarkonian ships sprang into action, their weapons lighting up the darkness of space. Caught by surprise, the massive fleet of the galactic powers fell into disarray. But Michael wasn't done yet. One more jump, Raj. Give it everything we've got. The 7th dimension drive roared to life once more. This time, as they jumped, Michael could feel the ship shuddering around him. Warning alarms blared across the bridge. They reappeared in the heart of the enemy fleet. The Prometheus unleashed a pulse of energy unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. It wasn't a weapon, at least not in the traditional sense. Instead, it was pure seventh-dimensional energy, rippling out in waves. Enemy ships spun out of control as their navigation systems went haywire. Some vessels simply winked out of existence, reappearing light years away. Others found themselves out of phase with normal spacetime, their crews experiencing time at a different rate than the rest of the universe. In a matter of minutes, the once mighty armada of the galactic powers had been reduced to chaos. As the dust settled, Michael slumped in his chair, exhausted but triumphant. The bridge of the Prometheus was eerily quiet, save for the sound of sparking consoles and the heavy breathing of the crew. "Raj," Michael called out, "status of the seventh dimension drive." There was a long pause before Raj's voice came back, heavy with emotion. "It's gone, Captain. Burned out completely. We'll be lucky if we can manage standard FTL at this point." Michael nodded, having expected as much. He turned to Vexilor, who was staring out at the scattered remains of the galactic fleet with a mix of awe and terror. "Well, Commander," Michael said, a wry smile on his face, "I'd say the balance of power in the galaxy has indeed changed. The question is, what do we do now?" Vexilor turned his 4 eyes to Michael, a new respect evident in his gaze. "Now, Captain Chen, we negotiate. But this time, humanity will be the one setting the terms." As the remnants of the galactic fleet regrouped, a new transmission came through. It was Zinra again, but this time, the ancient alien's voice trembled with a new emotion: respect. "People of Earth," Zinra said, "we have gravely underestimated you. Perhaps it is time we talked. As equals." Michael looked around at his crew, seeing the pride and determination in their eyes. Humanity had been pushed to the brink, mocked, and underestimated. But in true human fashion, they had not only survived, they had changed the rules of the game entirely. The galaxy would never laugh at humanity again. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council had never been so crowded. Representatives from every known spacefaring race packed the chamber, their eyes fixed on the raised platform at the center. There, for the first time in galactic history, stood a human. Captain Michael Chen, now Ambassador Chen, faced the assembled aliens with a mixture of pride and humility. Beside him stood Commander Vexilor, representing the Zarkonian Empire, and the ancient Grathi, Zinra. "Members of the Galactic Council," Michael began, his voice echoing through the vast chamber, "we stand at a crossroads. The old order has crumbled, and together we must forge a new path forward." A murmur rippled through the crowd. Many aliens still couldn't believe that humans, a species they had mocked for so long, now held such power. Michael continued, "Humanity didn't set out to conquer or dominate. We simply wanted to take our place among the stars. But when pushed, we pushed back. Now we have an opportunity to build something greater than any one species could achieve alone." Zinra stepped forward, his ancient eyes scanning the crowd. "The humans have demonstrated not just technological prowess, but also wisdom. Despite their victory, they seek cooperation, not subjugation." Commander Vexilor nodded in agreement. "The Zarkonian Empire, once enemies of Earth, now stand as their allies. We have seen firsthand the potential of human ingenuity and adaptability." As the 3 leaders spoke, holographic displays activated around the chamber, showing the schematics of a new ship design. It was clearly based on the Prometheus, but with elements of various alien technologies incorporated. "Behold," Michael said, gesturing to the image, "the future of galactic exploration, a ship that combines the best of all our technologies. The 7th dimension drive, improved and stabilized with the help of Zarkonian and Grathi scientists." The chamber erupted in excited chatter. Even the most skeptical aliens couldn't deny the potential of such a vessel. "But this ship is merely a symbol," Michael continued once the noise died down. "A symbol of what we can achieve when we work together. Humanity offers its seventh dimension technology not as a weapon, but as a tool for peaceful exploration and cooperation. Zinra's voice, though soft, carried throughout the hall. For too long, our galaxy has been divided by fear and mistrust. The humans, in their strange way, have given us a chance to start anew. Commander Vexlor stepped forward. The Zarkonian Empire pledges its full support to this new galactic initiative. We have seen the folly of underestimating humanity. Now, we choose to stand with them. As the three leaders spoke, the mood in the chamber began to shift. The fear and resentment that had initially greeted humanity's rise to power were gradually replaced by curiosity and cautious optimism. A representative from the crystalline towers of Lumina floated forward. How can we be sure that humans won't use this power to dominate us all? Michael smiled. A fair question. That's why we're proposing the formation of a new governing body. Not just a council, but a true galactic federation. Every race will have an equal voice, equal rights, and equal responsibilities. He paused, looking around the chamber. Humanity doesn't want to rule the galaxy. We want to explore it, to learn from it. And we want to do that with all of you as our partners, not our subjects. The chamber fell silent as the assembled aliens considered Michael's words. Then, slowly at first, but with growing enthusiasm, they began to applaud. It started with the younger races, those who had always chafed under the old power structures. But soon, even the oldest and most conservative aliens joined in. As the applause washed over him, Michael felt a weight lift from his shoulders. They had done it. Humanity had not only secured its place among the stars, but had also paved the way for a new era of galactic cooperation. Commander Vexlor leaned in close, his voice low. You've achieved the impossible, Ambassador Chen. You've united the galaxy. Michael shook his head, smiling. No, Commander. We've only taken the first step. The real work begins now. As the council session adjourned and the representatives began to mingle, discussing the potential of this new galactic order, Michael couldn't help but feel a sense of wonder. From a species laughed at and dismissed, humans had become the architects of a new age. The galaxy had indeed stopped laughing, but in its place, something far greater had emerged: respect, partnership, and hope for a brighter future among the stars. 5 years had passed since the formation of the Galactic Federation. The universe had changed in ways few could have imagined. Humans, once mocked as primitive, now stood as equals among the stars. But peace, as always, was fragile. Ambassador Michael Chen stood on the observation deck of Harmony Station, a massive space structure at the heart of Federation space. Beside him, Commander Vexlor and Zinra watched the swirling colors of a nearby nebula. It's beautiful, isn't it? Michael said, his voice soft with wonder. Vexlor nodded, his 4 eyes blinking in sequence. Indeed, who would have thought that humans, Zarkonians, and Grethi would one day stand together, admiring the cosmos as friends? Their peaceful moment was interrupted by an urgent beep from Michael's communicator. Ambassador Chen here, he answered. The voice of Admiral Lai Wei, once the tactical officer of the Prometheus, came through. Sir, we've detected something strange. A massive object just appeared at the edge of our space. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. Michael's brow furrowed. I'm on my way to command. Alert the Federation Council. Minutes later, Michael, Vexlor, and Zinra stood in Harmony Station's command center. The main screen showed a colossal structure, seemingly made of dark energy, hovering at the edge of known space. What is it? Vexlor asked, his voice hushed with awe and fear. Zinra's ancient eyes widened. It cannot be. The cosmic architects. They were thought to be just a myth. As if on cue, a transmission came through. The being on the screen was unlike anything they had ever seen. A swirling mass of energy in vaguely humanoid shape. Greetings, young ones. The being's voice resonated in their minds rather than their ears. We are the cosmic architects. We have watched your galaxy for eons, waiting for the day when you might be ready to join us. Michael stepped forward. Join you? What do you mean? The architect's form shimmered. Your recent leap in dimensional technology has caught our attention. We are the guardians of the higher dimensions, and we must determine if you are worthy to wield such power. Zinra spoke up, his voice trembling. How can we prove our worth? A test, the architect replied. We will create a challenge that will push your seventh dimension technology to its limits. If you succeed, we will welcome you into the cosmic community. If you fail, we will have no choice but to seal off your galaxy to protect the rest of the universe from misuse of this power. The transmission ended, leaving the command center in stunned silence. Michael turned to his friends and colleagues. Well, it seems the galaxy has one more laugh at our expense, but we've come too far to back down now. Over the next few days, the best minds in the Federation worked tirelessly to prepare. The Prometheus, long since retired as a museum piece, was recommissioned and upgraded with the latest advancements in seventh dimension technology. As the day of the test arrived, Michael found himself once again on the bridge of the Prometheus. But this time, his crew was a mix of humans and aliens, all working together towards a common goal. The Cosmic Architect's challenge was revealed. Navigate through a series of interdimensional mazes, each more complex than the last, all while the very fabric of space-time shifted around them. As the Prometheus entered the first maze, reality itself seemed to bend. Stars stretched into lines, then shattered into fragments. The crew worked in perfect harmony, human intuition blending with alien logic to guide the ship through impossible geometries. Hours passed like years and seconds simultaneously. The ship emerged from one maze only to plunge into another, each test pushing the limits of both technology and biology. Finally, as they approached the last challenge, alarms blared across the ship. The seventh dimension drive was on the verge of collapse. We can't stop now, Michael said, his voice firm despite his exhaustion. Divert all power to the drive. We finish this together, or not at all. In that moment, something extraordinary happened. The combined will of the crew, human and alien alike, seemed to resonate with the ship itself. The seventh dimension drive stabilized, drawing power not just from the ship's systems, but from the very determination of those aboard. With a final burst of speed, the Prometheus cleared the last maze. They emerged into normal space, face to face with the Cosmic Architect's structure. For a moment, there was silence. Then, the architect's voice filled their minds once more. Remarkable. You have succeeded where many others have failed. Your unity, your adaptability, your sheer determination. These are the qualities we have sought for eons. The dark energy structure began to glow, transforming into a gateway of pure light. Welcome, the architect said, to the next stage of cosmic evolution. As the Prometheus approached the gateway, Michael couldn't help but smile. From a species once laughed at by the galaxy, humanity had not only proven its worth, but had helped to usher in a new age of universal cooperation. The laughter had long since faded. In its place stood respect, admiration, and the promise of adventures beyond their wildest dreams. Together, united in their diversity, they stepped into the light, ready to explore dimensions unknown.